Marte Deborah Dalelv is a Norwegian interior designer who recently was handed a 16-month prison sentence in Dubai for rape. Not because she raped someone, tragically, because this is Dubai. She got the 16 months because she was raped and she reported it to the police. Now, I don't know how much detail we're going to go to in terms of what happened, but basically a coworker of hers, she's been working in Dubai since 2011. She was walking her home, dragged her into a room, and there seems to be the implication of some sort of drugging because she came to and she had this to say: "I woke up with my clothes off, sleeping on my belly, and he was raping me. I tried to get off, I tried to get him off, but he pushed me back down." Now, eventually she was able to get away and she contacted the police. The police came to her. It was 10 to 12 male police officers, no female police officers. This is Dubai. I don't know if that's actually out of the norm. And she said this. Again, after again giving her version of events to officers, Dalelv said, "They asked me, 'Are you sure you called the police because you just didn't like it?' Well, of course I didn't like it. That is when I knew I don't think they're going to believe me at all." And as I alluded to in the intro, eventually, because of how difficult, and this is what we're going to talk about in the story, how difficult it is to prove cases of rape, she was eventually sentenced to the 16 months for a couple of different things. Mostly it was sex outside of marriage, but also public consumption of alcohol and providing false testimony because, as I said, they couldn't prove it because you require the witnesses. So obviously a very tragic story. I mean, I guess only in Dubai or only in that region would something like this happen.
All the women they mention at the end of this article, they had the same charges. Everyone was charged with drinking alcohol. And I can't help but feel like that is one of the main reasons that these women are basically being blamed for their own rapes. And when I first read this, I was like, this is disgusting. I couldn't believe this is happening. And that it kind of happens in this country as well. I don't know if you saw the men's right movement and their "Don't Be That Girl" campaign.
Yes.
Blaming
Yeah,
the victims.
posters.
And it's all about alcohol use. And it's all about, like, just because you regret a one-night stand doesn't mean it wasn't consensual. It's this rape culture of blaming the victim. And it was hard for me to realize that when I'm reading about this foreign country, it exists in our own.
Yeah. So, Miki, there's big parts that I agree with you on. So, for example, in the military, we have this huge rape issue. And when you have to report it to your superiors, and oftentimes they'll throw you out of the military for reporting it, and they'll say you have a mental problem, and they'll discharge you for that, and it's just hideous, and we've really got to get it under control, etc. But I think here, it's a different degree of problem, okay? So it's not that the problem doesn't exist in many countries, including the US, but it's a different degree because of the laws. In United Arab Emirates, you need 4 witnesses or a confession to convict anyone of any crime. And they have to be 4 male witnesses, by the way, including rape. Now, how in the world, when you go to the authorities, can you find 4 male witnesses to your rape? Unless they were involved in the rape, and which, by the way, sometimes happens. As you know, you alluded to the end of the article we read for this story refers to many different cases in the UAE and nearby countries where this happens over and over, and sometimes it's gang rape. And when it's the gang rape, they say, well, now here's 6 guys saying you had sex outside of marriage. But you still don't have 4 other witnesses, right? And so rape becomes nearly impossible to prove. And the minute you admit it, they say, well, you admitted sex outside of marriage. We couldn't prove the rape, but we can prove that you gave the confession of sex outside of marriage, so you're going to jail. Now, in this case with the Norwegian woman, because of enormous international pressure, they pardoned her. Oh, wow. Are you not merciful? But by the way, just to rub it in a little bit, they also pardoned a rapist. And the rapist had only gotten about a year because he wasn't convicted of rape. They don't have the 4 witnesses. He was convicted of alcohol consumption, which is their catch-all charge. You know, it's technically illegal. There's bars all over Dubai. But if they want to get you, they say, oh, you must have consumed alcohol at some point. That's it. And also sex outside of marriage, because he probably said, oh, I didn't rape her, it was consensual. They're like, okay, at least we can give you a year.
At the very least, I guess they did that.
Yeah, but not anymore because they also pardoned him.
Yeah, exactly.
So now look, when I look at all this, I say, you shouldn't, if you're a woman, you should never travel to the United Arab Emirates. And I'm curious what you think about it, Miki, because if it's my daughter, my mom, anyone that I care about, my wife, it's free season. There's no way you're ever going to find 4 witnesses. And the people inside the United Arab Emirates, obviously they know that they could almost certainly get away with raping any woman. So, I mean, doesn't that scare the hell out of you?
Oh yeah, and when she said when she ran down to the hotel staff and said, I want to call the police, they said, are you sure that's what you want to do? And her reaction was, of course I'm going to call the police. I was raped. In her country, that's the normal reaction. But they knew. They were, maybe you shouldn't do that. And that's a really sad thought. I just won't go there.
Maybe you're new here and you don't know that our justice system is stupid.
Mm-hmm.
But
but it's malicious. It's not just stupid.
Exactly.
They do it on purpose. They want to punish the women. And so part of the message they're sending is go get dressed up in your burqa and sit in your dad or your husband's basement and don't leave. And if you leave, well, we're allowed to rape you.
Yeah.